Hi everyone, this is Marie Blue Angel, and I am finally back with Keyframes. Last time we left uh, everyone in the library, and we came back after going to the cafeteria with Percy and Elio, and we are catching up to see where Cameron and Deja and Jamie have been. I'm pretty sure those are their names. But yeah, it's been a hot second since I've been able to play, but I'm excited to get back into the story and see where we're going from here. I hope everyone does well in their midterms slash finals. I think right now it could be considered midterms for a semester system, and I know quarter systems, some of them are transitioning, if not already, into their spring quarters, so well, let me know if you're still in exam season and how that's going. And good luck if you are doing all of that. I sure do not miss those days. Anyways. Well, you sure took a long time, wherever you were. Leaning back in his seat, Percy flicked a wrist across at the flies of your labor. Fries of your labor. Where have you been while we were working hard, Now your drinks are lukewarm. Deja shrugged, her shoulders loose and relaxed despite the veiled accusation lingering under Percy's words. I had an SGB thing come up. They came along for some fresh air. Nothing else to it. Okay. Jamie's lilting drawl had the faintest trace of humor to it as he picked through the nearest bag of food. He withdrew without choosing anything, though he gestured to the assembled drinks next. What did you get? Lukewarm drinks or no, your offerings were still appreciated. Cameron snagged their juice, and you found the drink you'd gotten for Deja and passed it over. Ah, he remembered. As you reached for it, you realized your mistake. The drinks were warmer, but they were not warm enough to indicate you'd been in the study room for longer than 15 minutes. You weren't about to snatch a drink out of Deja Lamar's hand, so all you could do is smile at her as she looked down, watched a bead of condensation roll over her thumb, and looked back at you. Lie, if not by words, then by omission. Might as well try it. To spill or not spill, that is the question. We'll just see. I mean, it's one of those things that they haven't told us where they're coming from or the whole truth. I don't think. So we can play that same game here. This is nothing amongst friends. I'm sure we'll laugh about it in a second. You felt a bead of sweat on your neck and deflected at once, turning aside to seek a helping hand from your co-conspirators. Percy, pass me a lemonade? Yeah, getch. Percy tossed the bottle at you so quickly that you had to break away from Deja's calculating gaze, lest you suffer a lemonade-induced concussion. Let's eat. Yes, thanks for the food and drinks, everyone. I can't believe you can bring food and drinks in here. Usually libraries don't. I mean, I know people still sneak food in, like that is the way of life, as it were. But there was no concerns from what I remember, bringing all this stuff back into the library, so maybe this library is pretty chill about that. Oh, anyways. Your belated and impromptu lunch passed in a flash. After the crumbs and crumpled napkins were swept away, all that was left was to get back to studying. Just like how Deja had put it when you first arrived, today was a long haul, set aside to wrestle through the last of your exam prep. Man, I left all the hard questions for last. This sucks. Cameron's low whine prompted a few sympathetic mutters from around the table. Even after running off for as long as you had to admit spending the rest of the day indoors wasn't appealing. Could anyone really blame you if you slipped your phone out for one last distraction? You found a candid angle and pressed the shutter button before anyone noticed. Cute. We're studying. Wow, lots of papers and things. I feel the stress that they're going through. Whoa, hey, I wasn't ready. Don't mind me. It just felt like a good moment. Immortalizing our collective torment? How dastardly. Hey, it's not that bad, is it? At least we'll have something to compare to when we're finally past exams. He was right.
You did have a deadline to keep, but at least you had a keepsake now, capturing how exactly you'd be getting there on film. It's cute. Okay, so oh, Cam is calling. Of course we're gonna answer.
Hello, my favoriteest person in the world.
Hi, Cam. Your absolute favorite?
Yes, but don't tell Deja.
I knew it in my heart, but it's nice hearing it out loud for once.
Okay, first of all, I say stuff like that to you all the time. And second of all, I'm so glad you think the same.
You doubted me, Cam.
No. It's like you said, it's nice to hear it out loud. In fact, it's your turn. Am I your favorite person?
Obviously, yes.
Ah, sweet vindication. What are you up to today?
Nothing much. Why? What are you up to?
Why do you always make it sound like I'm up to something? Don't answer that. Anyway, I was going to ask if you knew how Dee was doing.
Geez, end of semestering? So it is a semester, it is finals season.
Yeah, that sounds right. Should we ask if she wants to take a day off? I mean, I know we're going to be free from exams soon. Can't wait to go frolicking in a field or something.
Deja does have a great frolic.
But it'd be nice if she got a break before the semester ended.
That is true, I agree. Yeah, it's just when I try to think of things to do, most of them are SGB events.
Ugh, you're right. Oh my god, you're so right. Check your messages.
Okay.
I've gotta go back to work, too. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye, Cam. That was fun. Check our messages. You abandoned me for chili cheese fries, a 92-minute drink run. And we do it again! Hey, just a reminder, we're taking RSVPs now for Spring Festival. No pressure to sign in early, because we'll still let you in the day of, but it helps us estimate for crowd management and stuff. I guess it's like, is this May? It's like, it feels like it's May. Semesters usually end in May, so maybe we're in April right now. Oh my god. We were literally talking about wanting something to do, lol. Hooray. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy, lol. Oh, wait. Oh. So that's it? There's nothing else? What is happening with this nocturne? I don't want to know. Okay. I love that. Anyways, let's just start the event. Okay, we can help with Spring Festival. Are we at the guys' apartment? Or is this our apartment? I'm confused. Maybe have I seen the guys' apartment? It doesn't seem not. No, I don't know. It looks nice. Not that the guys can't have a nice apartment either. But I assume this is our place. It was a big day for Rin Mayer, but for Deja and Reina, it was even bigger. According to student government superstition, the end of the year festival was the test by which president and their VP were judged suitable for serving another term. Today's event budget was the largest they had all year. Every dollar had been meticulously allocated, every cent painstakingly stretched as far as it would go. Deja had told you that, by comparison, organizing the barbecue was a walk in the park. Reina agreed, though in simpler terms. According to her, she could have planned that event with a quarter and a dream. Reina had slept over last night while putting out the last few fires. Okay, so this is our place. It's so cute. Ugh, look at the vision of this place. It's so nice. I like all the plants and everything, and like the earth tones. And the sunlight that's coming in is so nice. She and Deja had gone to bed a mere hour before dawn. Yet they were gone when you awoke, having already made their way to the green. They'd even left a pot of coffee on for you, but the cranes clunking loudly in the distance were far less considerate. At least most of the large-scale setup had been completed the afternoon before. Still, you doubted anyone living on campus couldn't hear what was going on. Ooh. In the silence that followed, birds dared to sing again, and you went to get dressed. It'd be time to head out soon. Hey, you up? Well, morning, Cam. Be up in a bit. Okay. Sorry. You meandered out in your kitchen and rifled through your fridge for a quick breakfast. But before long, the door swung open and Cameron swaned in, looking equal parts enthusiastic and exhausted. Hey, Cam. Table for one. A booth would be great. Shutting the fridge door, you handed Cameron a small bunch of grapes and twirled in place. What do you think? Cute. On second thought, you retrieved a water bottle from the fridge and tossed it over. Cameron took it gratefully, unscrewing the cap to take a sip. Gotta get hydrated early if we're gonna have fun today. Yeah. It doesn't look that bad, does it? You look fine, but my point still stands. An uncertain smile crossed their expression before Cameron sheepishly nodded in agreement. It wasn't uncommon for them to overthink things the night before a big event. They didn't want to come across as childish or overly excited, but playing it cool wasn't their style. From the slight bags under their eyes, you knew they stayed up too late fretting. With Deja busy for the day, you intended to do what you could to help them feel as confident as possible. You got this, Cam. You suspected their restlessness had to do with how you were supposed to meet Percy, Jamie, and Elio down on the green. Cameron was getting used to them, but you still noticed them doubting their own behavior at times. When their nerves got the better of them, being in a larger group meant that they could get drowned out, or singled out, which was even worse. I feel that. Well, Percy and Elio are pretty good about knowing when people need to tap out. I'm sure they'll be chill. Yeah, I think so too. Nervous energy still nested in their tense shoulders, but Cameron grinned, looking ready to have as much fun as they could muster. You good to go? Let me check. Got my phone, keys. What else? You had your things together by the time Cameron was done eating their grapes. After turning out the lights and locking up, the two of you hurried down to street level, turning onto the path that connected to the rest of campus. So, what are you looking forward to the most? I only saw a little bit from the parking lot, but it's already crowded as hell. Worse than the first day of classes. The magic of friendship? Well, yeah, that's a given, but what else? Food. I think I want, one of those huge turkey legs. I thought you got a stomachache from that last year. Yeah, but I'm a year older now. My stomach's steelier. Or am I just hungrier? Either way, it's gonna be over-the-top kinds of wild. Dee's been pulling her hair out over this. And still prepping for finals at the same time. She takes the shortest power naps I've ever seen. I heard Deja sleep-talking the last time I was over. I think she was ordering doves. To release? I have to assume. What else do people do with doves? I don't know. Ooh, cute. You heard the sheer scale of it before you even arrived on the green. There was a tinny noise of a victory buzzer, happy shouts mixed with more reckless shrieks, and somehow a goat bleating. Rows of booths lined the lawn to either side, strung with lights and flags. Everywhere you looked, there were people, moving in easy ebbs and flows, queuing, playing, snacking, chatting. Arriving at the SGB side of the festival, you found the center of command, a tent marked with the word information, where the person you were looking for was standing. Dee! She wiggled her fingers at you in greeting, and Cameron skipped ahead with a grin. As you moved to close the gap, you realized her gesture had changed. She was pointing at something behind you, poking twice for emphasis as she smiled. Hey, there you all are. A familiar voice caught your ear, and you turned, waving as the other half of your group arrived. Hey, you made it. I hope we're not late. How's everyone doing? Well, don't everyone say hi to me all at once. Pardon my manners. Hello, Deja. Milady. Ma'am. Deja rolled her eyes, but any annoyance quickly gave way to the veneer of school spirit that she was required to have. As your group gathered in front of the info table, she clapped her hands once, officially greeting you all with a smile and a raised brow. All right, kids. Before I set you loose, who needs to fill out a waiver? That is a worrying first question to ask, my dude. Cameron gave a pointed look at the rows of tables set up in front of Deja, Curious, you reached over and tapped on the closest screen, bringing up a simple E-form with the university's logo up top. Release of liability. Deja, what's this for? Something dastardly, I bet. Come on, don't you trust me? Deja batted her eyes without a moment's hesitation. Cameron turned aside to clutch at their chest, bracing an arm on the table as they staggered. Must resist. Must read the fine print. You glanced over your shoulder at the activities arranged all along the green. In particular, a large temporary wall caught your eye, studded with colorful handholds. Is this for the rock climbing course? Mm-hmm, and a few others. Yelio perked up noticeably at that, stepping over to another tablet. Scrolling quickly down the form, he nodded, then returned to the top to start entering his student info. Makes sense. You really pulled out all the stops, huh? Deja nodded and shrugged at the same time, pulling her obvious pride back across a line of nonchalant confidence as she gestured to the rest of the green. You've seen how far we go for a scavenger hunt. Did you really doubt us? Nope. That's why we showed up. So that's why you insisted we wear athletic shoes. Elio beamed, feigning ignorance, and hit submit on the form before stepping aside for Jamie. Percy finished up at the adjacent tablet, while Cameron scrolled more slowly on the third and final one. As Percy vacated his spot, you took a closer look for yourself. There were fields for your name and email, and a section outlining what responsibilities were yours and what were the university's. You don't have to fill it out right away. If you change your mind, there'll be another SG person near the actual activities with another tablet. What is this I'm hearing? Suddenly, the SG president herself arrived in a flurry of movement. Despite the hustle and bustle, Reyna was put together as ever, not a clip or button out of place as she stepped up next to Deja. Hi, Reyna. Marie, hi. She turned on the rest of you the next moment, putting her hands good-naturedly on her hips and regarding you with a faint pout. Scared off by a little waver. Come on, where's that chickadee fighting spirit? Are we fighting chickadees? I don't know if I could punch a bird in good conscience. Reyna sent Cameron a patient but exasperated look, and they shoved their hands innocently in their pockets, swaying back and forth with a small, goofy smile. But really, as your lead organizer for the day, I hope you find it in you to try out as much as we've what we've got as you can, waivers or otherwise. You got it, Reyna. It looks great out here. You've done a really impressive job. I'd expect no less from the current SGB leadership. It's quite something. Go and play first, and then come back here and flatter us for a job well done, yes? Oh, but take these first. A cardboard box landed on the table, and Reyna sifted through its contents, expertly selecting exactly 5 paper bracelets and fanning them out for you to take. This way the food trucks will know you're students and you eat for free. You're welcome. She produced a roll of red paper tickets next. In the time it took you to loop a bracelet around your wrist and stick it in place, she had neatly torn 1 ticket off for each of you. And these are for later. Don't lose them. These are for the raffle at the end. Oh, what's on the prize list? The look of warning that Reyna had leveled at the 3 of you was nothing short of arresting. Deja turned her eyes skyward while letting out an innocent, oblivious hum. What? Indeed. That's what I thought. The prize budget was high. That's all I'll say. Reyna threw her hands up with an incredulous huff, and you fought to keep your smile from giving you away. Almost immediately after, Percy closed his eyes and crossed his fingers. Cruise to the Caribbean, cruise to the... Okay, not that high. Cruise to Alaska, cruise to... Alright, now you guys can go. Go on, go do your things. I'll be here the rest of the day. You don't get any breaks? Some, yes, but don't wait up for me. I already know everything that happens anyway. She winked with Reyna, while Reyna pointed at the rest of you with a warning. Yes, really go. Otherwise all of this will have been for nothing. Then how sad will your beloved SGB be, Under the combined force of their expectant smiles, you could do little but promise to enjoy yourself. You have fun too, Kay? Okay, bye. Ooh, look at this. Walking backward, you and the others waved your temporary goodbyes, then gathered a short distance away to stare at the entirety of the festival. That climbing wall's calling my name. You guys want to come with? Oh, I was kind of hoping to hit the games up first. Percy grinned, jabbing his thumb over his shoulder at the fairground. He was already balanced on the balls of his feet, ready to disappear into the crowd at any moment. I feel a choice coming on. That's cool. No worries. We could head over that way first. Ilio bounced a few times, his hand on his hat as he scoped out the booths and games in the distance. Percy made a non-committal sound, lifting a shoulder and dropping it. It's a big turnout. You sure you don't want to grab a spot as early as possible? There is quite a crowd. Yeah, it's open to Fairfield in general. The SGB has been selling tickets for a few months. I think they doubled down the last 2 weeks. I heard someone giving the whole spiel on the bus the other day, and I saw tables set up at that one path leading up from the parking lots. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Glancing at Cam, you gave them a subtle nod. You figured they'd stick next to you no matter what. You just had to figure out the rest of the plan. Ilio's head swiveled around the festival grounds so quickly that you were sure it'd pop right off his shoulders if he did it any faster. There were too many options available, and it seemed that he was intent on capturing it all. Jamie puffed out a laugh, pretending to look elsewhere as Cameron's gaze met yours, privately relieved that they weren't the only ones who was excited. I mean, there should be time, but you're right. I see some lines forming already. It's still the green. It's not like we won't be able to find each other again. I'll refrain. It doesn't matter too much to me either way. You could stay in a group, or you could wander off and do whatever came to mind. Like Percy said, the green wasn't that big. Should we stay as a group? I don't know. Like, I mean, realistically, we did meet up to hang out. You know? I mean, not that you can't do your own thing, because sometimes that does happen, even if you do meet up to, like, hang out. I'm gonna say stick together. You were determined to make the most of your day, and that included spending time with everyone in equal measure. What better way to take in all that the festival had to offer? Want to stick together? That's fine with me. Sure, any preferences on which way we head first? You turned your gaze on the rest of the green when it came to finding things that all 5 of you could do. There were some locations that stood out. The petting zoo, a human pretzel race. Ooh, an obstacle course sounds fun. Oh, yes. Can we? You don't have to pull out the puppy dog eyes, man. I want to see what's over there, too. Jamie? Jamie? Why not? Oh my gosh, I'm getting all their voices mixed up. This is cute. You made for the starting line, craning your heads back to gauge the full scope of what you were getting yourselves into. This was easily the largest attraction at the festival. The entire thing was composed of inflatable nylon barriers and flooring, bordered by high walls. It shook occasionally, with corresponding yelps, shouts, and laughs from within. If you strained your ears, you could also hear the faint rhythm of muffled machinery. Nothing too elaborate, but for a family-friendly campus event, it was ominous nonetheless. Cameron stretched onto tiptoes, trying to look inside. Out of the far end of the course, a pair of students stumbled through the exit, laughing as they held up a pair of stopwatches. It must be pretty intense if we have to wait to get in. It looks like they time us, too.
Hey, welcome! If you're looking to race, we have a big group finishing up soon. Should be space for all of you if you want in.
You each nodded, some with more enthusiasm than others. The operator chuckled, then gestured for you to line up, lifting a bundle of handles in lanyards in one hand.
Just gotta make sure you all signed waivers. Oh, and you'll use these stopwatches to record your times. Careful not to stop them too early, okay? You can see our current record over there on that signboard. It's currently just over 6 minutes. We'll double check your times at the end, but play fair, yeah? Of course, anyone who breaks our record wins a prize.
Interesting. My friends, I love you all dearly, but know that we are now at war. We don't even know what the prize is yet. No, that's why we must fight for it, don't you see? A crackle from the operator's walkie-talkie signaled that you were up next.
With a gesture, she herded you all the way through all through the archway that marked the obstacle course's entrance. You joined the starting line. Am I gonna have to do like quick time events with my little? I gotta put my hand on my keypad here. You joined the starting line, crouching a little to find your balance. On your left, Percy sank down into a full runner start. On your right, Jamie merely leaned forward a little. Hands on your stopwatches, everyone. Ready? On your marks, get set. That prize is mine. You're all going down. Elio's brash laugh sounded farther down on your left. Oh, that's how it's gonna be. Okay. Go! Okay, I'm scared. The starting whistle blew and you each clicked your stopwatches on, then dashed forward. With wild shouts, Elio and Cameron pelted into the lead. The rest of you were close behind as you approached the first obstacle, a steep incline lined with several ropes to use as climbing supports. The nylon gave awkwardly under your feet as you tried to gain purchase. If you wanted to scale this wall, you'd have to grab on and pull yourself up, quick. Oh my gosh, I knew it. You latched onto a rope and dug your feet in, overtaking Cameron as he scrambled up the slope. They yelped in outrage, and you heard their shoes squeaking on the nylon behind you. I don't know, sorry, I picked something. Just as Cameron put on a burst of speed, you turned and planted your hand firmly on their forehead. Why did I shove them? Ah! No, they fell. I was in second. I should have gotten Elio. Anyways, as the rest of you slid down to the other side of the rope, Elio dashed ahead to earn a sizable lead. I didn't really read those last options properly. I just picked something in the middle. Cameron bolted after him at top speed, hollering a challenge that you couldn't quite hear. Up ahead was a pit that spanned the whole width of the track. While it'd be safer to hop down and run across, you set your sights on the other side of the gap and picked up speed. Oh. Stopwatch thumping against your chest, you broke into a full sprint and leaped at the last moment, landing with an oomph on the other side, pushing off and darting onward. Let's go, people, let's go. Percy and Jamie both cleared the jump with ease, landing within seconds of each other. Percy lengthened his stride, bounding ahead in reckless leaps as he checked behind him. Unfortunately, that meant Percy didn't quite hear what was happening up ahead. Last one out's a rotten... Ugh. He never got to finish his taunt as his horizontal padded bar swung out of nowhere and checked him neatly at the waist. That would be the first of the mechanical obstacles in the race. He toppled head over heels with a high-pitched yelp, but Jamie vaulted over the bar with the sudden grace of an antelope. He rolled fluidly to his feet, then rushed onward without a word. Then the bar swept back around, just in time to catch you. Gosh. You lunged haphazardly under the rotating bar, crawling on your elbows and knees until you were clear to run again. Wait up! As you all scampered forth, the new obstacle loomed. The next one loomed, rather. A row of winding tunnels. No matter which you choose, you'd be forced to throw yourself down and crawl as fast as you could. Okay, well, good thing I'm prepared. The world faded into a colorful blur as you dove, using your elbows to pull yourself forward into a tunnel. To either side, you heard the muffled voices of your friends doing the same. You crawled for your life, popping out the other end of the maze just a little bit ahead of the others. Over halfway done. Onward! Onward! Further ahead, there was a bright flash of Elio's hat as he crested a low hill. Cameron put up a formidable chase right behind him, hair a mess and hood flapping in the wind. Get back here! Never! Okay. You were in the middle of the pack with a slight lead over Percy and Jamie. Resisting the urge to look back, you sped into a run. Up last, a colorful, hectic jumble of pillars arranged on a series of small, uneven hills. That's what we're seeing now. You'd have to slalom back and forth as you ran if you wanted to keep up. Avoid tripping? You cut to the side and wove a tight, controlled path through the poles, aiming to flit through quickly without any mistakes. When suddenly, you felt two hands grab you, one on each shoulder, and you tumbled backward. Hey! What goes around bites you in the ass. See ya! And they rushed on without you, even sparing the time to high-five each other as they went. You got back to your feet, but it was too late. You were dead last, and your pace slowed until you crossed the finish line with a defeated laugh. The others were already assembled at the ending platform, though Elio and Cameron were sprawled on the floor, catching their breath. Okay, I deserve that.
I hope this was a learning experience for you, young Aubad. I think it was a learning experience for everyone, no matter our placement. Yeah, I learned never to race Elio again. It doesn't have to be a race next time. How's the half marathon sound? It sounds much worse. In another minute, the five of you were through the exit and sliding down the green. After racing on such an unsteady surface, you felt particularly secure with solid earth under your shoes again.
Good race, good race. Will our first place champion please present their stopwatch? Elio stepped forward with his lantern held out in one hand, his delight evident in the happy, proud set to his shoulders.
Here you go.
That's a new record. All right. Congrats, and here's your prize.
She reached out, and you all heard a soft snap of something plastic. Elio visibly jumped, laughing to dispel his surprise, and lifted his arm, revealing a brightly patterned slap bracelet curled around his wrist. Neato. Nice. After turning your stopwatches back in, you hastened away to make room for the next batch of racers. Well then, was the prize worth the race? Elio gave a slow, lofty laugh before reaching to his wrist, then flicking the same hand out in the next second, slapping the bracelet onto Jamie's arm with gusto. Oh, is this mine now? No, I'd like that back, please. Where to next? Okay, I guess we should go to the petting zoo. Oh, I'm down. Same. No one's allergic, right? Nah, we should be good. Or, well, it's a petting zoo. How could petting zoo animals not be friendly? I suppose we'll see for ourselves. Okay. The petting zoo sat smack dab in the middle of the green, surrounded by a low fence. Alpacas, lambs, and Flemish giant rabbits relaxed under the sunlight, sniffing at nearby people for treats. To one side was a portable shed where the animals could rest, but luckily many of them had energy and curiosity to spare. As you approached, a student volunteer stepped up to greet you. Hi there, want to buy some food for the animals? When all of you nodded at the same time, he smothered a laugh, then reached behind him for a tray of small paper cups. Great, it's $1 per, so, 5 total. Money changed hands and you filed through the gate into the enclosure. A few lambs perked up while the goats in the corner snoozed obliviously on. Rabbits watched from the sidelines and chicks peeped from a large hay-filled tub in the corner. Percy was first to wander away as the baby goat began tugging on the leg of his jeans. Jamie was already seated in a clean patch of hay, simply waiting to be noticed. And Elio... Hey, little guy. Oh no, please come back. Well, Elio was doing his best. You decided to join... I haven't talked to Jamie, really, even though I said I was gonna try to talk to Jamie. So we'll go to Percy and Jamie. A chorus of chirps, peeps, and trills filled the air at one end of the closure. Jamie was sitting cross-legged with 2 slightly older chickens hopping around him. A young lamb had wandered over as well, and Jamie held still as it snuffled damply at his sleeves. He barely flinched when it huffed once or twice, clearing a bit of sawdust from its tiny nose. You're an animal whisperer, huh? I hope you know I don't do this on purpose. The cup in his hand was still completely full, so it was truly a mystery how he attracted so many animals. You offered a few pellets of your own, but the lamb barely blinked, and the chickens kept clucking away like nothing had changed. At least the little goat had latched onto Percy was hungry. The pellets in your hands were gone in a quick munch, and you settled carefully on the ground to sit across from Percy and Jamie. From where he was seated, Percy grinned, reaching to scratch his new goat friend between its snubby horns. Animals just like Jamie, and he likes them back. See? Him being a brat all the time is just the hard chocolate shell. Inside, ooey gooey caramel center. Jamie rolled his eyes, but he didn't protest right away. Instead, he preoccupied himself with reaching into the tub of baby chicks, carefully lifting out one chirping fluff ball to pet. They're babies. Anyone would be nice to them. What about you, Percy? I don't have as many stories as Elio does, and I definitely don't have as many as this guy. Percy's gestures became a touch more animated as he slipped into storytelling mode. Next to him, Jamie calmly let the chick back to its flock, then plucked a pellet from his paper cup. Jamie's got all sorts of animal stories. This one time at work? Ugh! He spat frantically, ugh, that's what that was, then wiped his mouth. The pellet bounced onto the hay, and the baby goat promptly dove to claim it. Jesus, Jamie, there are other ways of telling me to shut up. You were chirping. I thought that meant you were hungry. What do you do for work, Jamie? A few different things. For a moment, it seemed that was all he was going to say, or wanted to say. He seemed fit to shove a food pellet to Percy's mouth over it, and after all, but surprisingly, after another second, he relented. One is a part-time job at a pet cafe. I also volunteer at a national park. Where? Not in Fairfield. Before you could ask anything else, you heard frantic footsteps, followed by an ominous swift thudding of hooves. Help! Why do they hate you so much? And before any of you could move, there went Elio and Cameron, fully flinging themselves over the fence to escape a charging alpaca. Well, that's longer than last time. That's true. What do you mean, last time? Well, last time. You climbed to your feet and brushed the hay off your legs, then left the pen. Elio and Cameron were sprawled onto the ground and panting, laughing half hysterically as they bumped fists. So, wanna go somewhere else? Yeah, I'm all out of pellets anyway. Once Elio was done brushing grass off his clothes, you were off once more, to the part of the festival that had something for each of you. The fairground was a blaring hub of lights, noise, and people, and yet the noise was a siren song instead of a deterrent, reeling all of you in more quickly the closer you got. There was no doubt Deja had planned this side of the festival. Game booths were packed alongside one side of the green with frightening efficiency, giving you more options than there were hours in a day. All right, my town, baby. Let me show you how it's done. These are all just variations of throwing things at other things. Wrong. Some of them are shooting things at other things. There's a difference. Oh yes, pardon me. I wasn't aware we needed to make that obvious distinction. Come on, guys. There's climbing stuff, too. Alright, genius. What do we play first, then? Jamie shrugged and stuck his fist out, the obvious beginnings of a rock-paper-scissors game. Cam snickered and met your eye, and you both joined in, making it a 5-way battle. Rock? Cameron put out scissors, but none of the other signs were remotely recognizable. Jamie played a fist with his thumb resting on top of his fingers. Percy had 2 fists by his side, and Elio had held a fist into the open palm of his hand. What is happening? Bomb. Dynamite. Scissors. Boulder. Rock. Boulder beats everything. I'm pretty sure a bomb and dynamite would. Too late, already gone. Boulder. Now it was Elio's turn to stick 2 fists in the air as he whooped and sprinted away. He made a beeline for the ladder climb, dodging around a small child or two as he went. You caught up with him at a wide platted platform, over which a pair of rope and rung ladders were strung at a gentle incline. A bell hung on the wall above the far end of each one. A bell hung on the wall above the far end of each one, waiting to be rung. Again, Elio? I take my chances when I get them. What do you mean again? Elio went still, casting a 1,000-yard stare at the ladders. Percy let out the kind of 5-note whistle that preluded any Western shootout. Even Jamie joined in, by patting the tops of his thighs to mimic the sound of a distantly galloping horse. All that was missing was a tumbleweed or two. Never have I ever passed this challenge. Sweeping an arm out in a bold gesture, Elio beamed at the rest of you with unguarded enthusiasm, managing to look both confident and hopeful with a single gesture. But today I will change that, with all of your help. Or at least you'll get to watch me die, trying. So, who's with me? I don't know. I don't want to go. He didn't want to go. Not me. Who's up? Elio gave an exaggerated, blustery sigh, his shoulders slumping for a second before he popped back up into his usual posture. Alright, Percy, you want to try? I always wanted to beat the master at his own game. Stepping forward, Percy stretched his arms out with his fingers laced, and Elio bent down to stretch his hamstrings. From there, what was meant to be a quick race turned into a contest of panache. While each of them engaged in sillier and sillier stretches, Cameron tugged on your sleeve, wiggling their eyebrows as they held up a $5 bill. 5 on Elio. 5 on Percy. You turned your gaze back to Elio and Percy, both kneeling on the mats like sprinters waiting for a starting pistol. I won't choose either of them. I'm not putting pressure on them like that, just for the sake of all of this. That's a shame. I'd be winning you $10. Wow, confident much. Count us off, Marie. 1, 2, 3. Athletic as ever, Elio shot ahead by a few rungs, his ladder shaking precariously underneath him. Percy was scrappier, climbing steadily at the cost of speed. It was a close race at the end. At the second to last rung, they both reached and swiped for the bell, and plummeted in quick succession as they lost their balance and fell. I almost had it. You didn't. Jamie called out dryly, but stumbled forward as Cameron nudged him toward the starting line. Okay, we're up. We are? No time. Go, go, go. Spurred on by Cameron's excitable urgency, the two of them grab onto the vacant ladders. Oh yay, that's cute. 1, 2, Cam tried leaping up 2 rings at a time, only to spin until they were hanging upside down, yanking themselves close to the rungs to stay off the floor. They made a valiant effort to swing upright, but their grip faltered, and with a squeak, Cameron went bouncing onto the landing pad. Jamie took a slower approach, too slow. When his balance wavered, he overcorrected by leaning too far to the other side, and so he fell as well, with a small clipped yelp. How did you make that look so graceful? I literally don't know what you mean. Look at me, I'm a mess. The two of them shared a laugh as they lay there, before Jamie got up and helped Cameron back onto their feet. You were up last, and everyone else had already taken a turn. Maybe you could ask if someone wanted to play again? Maybe we don't go. I'm fine to skip. You want to get going? If you're sure. A breeze swept past, shaking the ladder rungs, and I've never tried that game, so I don't know. I don't think I'd be very... I would definitely fall, personally, but, you know... It's one of those things. It's definitely daunting, but it looks fun. A breeze swept past, shaking the ladder rungs and gently carrying the last of Elio's dreams with it. He stared longingly, visibly imagining his elusive victory as earnestly as he could. After a hesitant silence, he turned away, but he made it one step before Percy clicked his tongue, shaking his head slowly with exaggerated care. Elio, wasn't today going to be the day? I mean, I wanted it to be, yeah. So, we're giving up just like that? How did you put it? Today you were going to win, or we'll watch you die trying? Me and my big mouth. Percy's right. You can't give up now. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I'd try as many times as it takes, but I don't want to take up all our time. Who says you have to? We can cheat. At the no-stakes climbing game? Yes. Reina's not around to tell us no, so... Just one more shot, Elio. That's all you need to make it. You think so? I know so. Right, Marie? Yeah, just go for it. You can do it. You know what? I can do it. With renewed optimism, Elio quickly returned to the base of the ladder, and he bounded up with even more speed and power than before. I can do it. Look, I'm doing it. Ugh. Oh shit, he fell again. I'll go get him. It's okay. Maybe we should have helped. Yeah, maybe he needed 2 more shots. Knowing him, though, he's gonna take it on the chin and try again another time. I mean, at least he went back. Elio and Jamie returned with a smile and a serene nod apiece. The rest of you clapped gently to be polite. Oh, not the golf clap of pity. I'll get my revenge next time. You just wait and see. As the 5 of you left the ladder game behind and you wandered the fairgrounds in search of what to play next, there were plenty of classics, as well as campus-specific ones. Pin the Feather and the Chickadee, but none of them seemed to draw anyone's full agreement. Alright, how about that one? Overruled. We are not playing that. Worried you'll lose, Porter? On the contrary, I'd rather have an actual challenge. If we play a game involving reach or range of motion, I'm at a natural advantage. Oh, okay, fine. Then in that case... Percy whistled lowly as he searched, his eye landing on a shooting gallery with a sly glint, but Elio chose then to chuckle, his eyebrows waggling deviously as he pointed at a sign for a push-up contest. Jamie shot an arm out in front of him before he could get any farther, shaking his head. A challenge, Elio, not a unilateral slaughter. Yeah, not like that, you maniac. Besides, how are Mary and Cameron going to keep up with us? I mean, look at them. Hey! Yeah, hey! We're plenty strong. Look at our arms. The picture of fitness. But alright, fine. Fine, no push-up contest. How about that one? The bar hang? Yeah, it's pure tenacity. It's about pure tenacity. You can't just win because you're tall. You can't win just because you're strong. And hand-eye coordination has nothing to do with it. It looks quite unpleasant. Why this one? Because it's free? Fair enough, shall we? Should get cute little matching tattoos, that'd be fun. You made your way over, catching the attention of an attendant presiding over the bar hang with a stopwatch in hand. Interested. We've only got 2 bars open right now, but you're free to go in multiple rounds. Oh, awesome. Then, since Percy insinuated she couldn't do it, how about Marie picks who to go against first? I'll play against Amy. We'll see. You're joking. No, I'm just being realistic about your prospects or mine. Let's find out, I guess. There's just one rule. Hang on as long as you can. Ready, set, go. Come on, Marie. Jamie was tall enough that he barely had to jump to reach the bar. Once his grip was secured, he lifted his legs off the ground, ankles crossing to avoid swinging around too much. He had to bend his knees a little too, but somehow he even made that look prim. Finding your grip on the bar was easier than expected. The hard part was staying attached to it as time went on. Every time you shifted, you could feel the bar flexing slightly, and of course, the longer you stayed up, the more the skin of your hands started to burn. Find your happy place? All you had to do was convince yourself that you were somewhere else. Maybe you were on a beach, maybe you were worlds away, entire worlds away, or maybe you were just in bed. All that mattered was that you weren't thinking about the bar in your hands. I hope my tattoo isn't showing. Your what? Your head turned before you could think, and you slipped, dropping from the bar down onto your behind with a graceless grunt. Oh, that was easy. No, but what did you say? Just whatever I thought would surprise you the most. Thanks. She shuffled aside to make room for the next pair, and as soon as the stopwatch was reset, the contest started anew. Don't hold back, Elio. In fact, hang on. I want a fair fight. That's the spirit. I'm focusing. Oh, it hurts so bad. I can't talk. Come on, just 5 more seconds. I can hear you smiling. And there wasn't much time to be done in the face of Elio's sheer strength and willpower. Cam dropped down and Elio swung lightly back and forth, grinning widely. Percy. Yes, Elio? Don't you yes, Elio me. Get up here. The third match went pretty much the same as the other 2. That was, quickly. Elio's smile was only a little smug as he dusted off his palms. The rest of you cheerfully avoided eye contact, lest he invite anyone to try yet again. Good job. Thanks. I'm surprised they didn't do Elio and Jamie. Not that we don't know that it's very likely that Elio would win, but it would be fun to see that. Thanks to several complaints of sore palms, you all veered aside for a quick detour, grabbing some cold canned drinks from a stand to soothe your hands. Only afterward did the conversation turn towards finding something that all 5 of you could play at once instead of competing in pairs. I think I know just the place. Percy, how did you know this was back here? I have an eagle eye for these kind of things. No, man, you're just tall as shit. Percy nodded generously, his expression unrepentantly smug. Before you was a heavily padded arena constructed of nylon walls, filled to chest height with foam cubes and dotted throughout with small platforms. As you watched, students jumped and darted back and forth, each vying to be the last person standing, while jabbing, swinging, and pushing at each other with long, lightweight jousting poles. Oh gosh. How's this for variation, Jamie? It's an escalation, I'll give you that. I'm confused. The sign said it was supposed to be jousting? I think less horses, more gladiator. I saw something like this on TV once. Okay. That could be fun. You quickly pulled an entry fee for 5 amongst yourselves, then stepped up to claim the next round. With helmets on and padded lances in hand, you waded into the arena, pushing through the sea of foam cubes. Everyone quickly found a platform to climb onto. You found a spot near one side of the arena with everyone else nearby. As the operator called out a countdown, you started forming a strategy. You were confident that you win. In fact, you even felt up to taunting anyone nearby. You figured out if you team with Cameron, you could knock out the others out of the fight first. I think we should, let's go with Cameron. Psst, Cam. You jerked your head lightly at the others and raised an eyebrow. Follow my lead? With surprising deftness, they spun their weapon in a controlled flourish, while an absolutely devilish look crossed their face. Say no more. Okay, yeah, I love this for us. Then the starting bell rang and you were off. Game time. Oh my gosh. Let's get Elio. Let's get Elio. Leaping across, I have my fingers on my keypad again. Leaping across to close the gap, you jabbed forward with your weapon, attempting to catch Elio in the shoulder and knock him off balance. Huh, bring it on. Adrenaline surged as you landed a successful hit, the padding on your weapon ensuring you did nothing aside from force him into stumbling back, but it wasn't quite enough. Until Cameron landed on the adjacent platform, swinging their lance with a high-pitched, exhilarating whoop. Caught you slipping. Bam! Impossible. You couldn't resist a victorious swoop of your own as your target went plummeting into the pit below. And that's on teamwork. Who's next? Percy's raucous laugh was all the warning you got, and you ducked wildly as he swung for where you'd just been. Cameron yelped at the same time as Jamie charged at them with unexpected vigor. If that's how we're playing, game on. Hold still. No! As the game wore on, you defended any position you took, finding a rhythm as you kept away from corners and dead ends. A discordant jumble of voices, thuds, and squeaks filled the air until finally, all was quiet. A final breeze swept across the arena, carrying on its spring-scented wings the cries of those who'd slaughtered to get this far. And across from you... Who would have thought it would come to this? Cameron stood with their lance lowered, looking aside with a delicate sigh, wisps of their hair caught in the wind as they struck the perfect picture of a heartsick, weary warrior. Had I known our halcyon days would come to an end, I don't think I would ever have picked up a blade. Do you remember the days of our youth? We were just children then, playing with sticks. Now we've been through too much together. Lilac eyes glimmered from behind lowered lashes, and they looked mournfully up at you. Slowly, their weapon came up, pointing unerringly at you. War changes people, but Fomor destroys good people like you and I. And we were good, weren't we, Marie? Oh my god, get on with it already. No, this is important. Ilya was right. You took your time lifting your own lance, smearing your best and your last friend. Pink petals showered down, torn from faraway trees. No birds dared to sing. The only sound was that of your twin heartbeats, so alike and yet so different. We'll meet again, no matter how long it takes. This land needs a ruler, but so does the Valley of the Afterlife. And I'll send you there because destiny commands it, even if it breaks my heart. Know this. They lifted a curled fist to their chest, fighting back tears as they met your eyes. Know that it was an honor and a privilege to have been your friend. You'd play along, but you take yourself out for Cameron's sake. You weren't raised a loser. You win if it was the last thing you did. I want to play along and win.
I'll never give up. You'll never stop me.
And that is why I must. They lunged forward, jumping onto your platform, swinging wildly. Where Cameron struck, you fought back with gusto, and your lances clashed and ricocheted as you both put up your best fight. You forced my hand. Inferno Demon Blaze! Hey, no demonic contracts allowed. Very well. Inferno Angel, please. Sparks flew in the stage of your imagination, but alas, the scales couldn't stay balanced forever. Suddenly, Cameron lurched to a stop, staggering as they clamped an arm down to pin your lance to their side, holding it as if they'd been impaled. You were both breathing hard, shoulders shaking with suppressed giggles. Slumping down, they stared up at you with wet, clouded eyes. Reaching for you with a trembled hand, they softly gasped. Marie, do we ever... Have you in the battle? Could our love have ever bloomed? You could only close your eyes, shaking your head as you blocked out the sight of their trembling mouth and yanked your weapon free, sending them sliding off the platform. They fell into the abyss below, and you mournfully slashed your lance through the air, throwing off an imaginary splash of your former best friend's blood. In another life, Cameron, but fate won't give us another chance. We don't deserve it. Yo, are you guys okay? Well, as you filed, that was fun. As you all filed away from the equipment return table, Percy clapped his hands with a satisfied sigh. He had a particularly refreshed smile, looking for all the world as if he'd just emerged from a spa instead of a foam pit battle royale. I don't know about you, but now that we've beaten the shit out of each other with big sticks for a while, I feel like our friendships are stronger than ever. I'm just tired, mostly. Not that it wasn't worth it. Your wanderings took you to the other side of the green, where students sprawled on empty patches of grass to catch a break. The food trucks were nearby, but before that... Ooh, all right, step up, get dunked by a friend or dunk your friends. It's the SGB Quiz Show Spectacular, here on the green on this fine spring day. You there, you fine individual. You look like someone with an unfinished college education. Even through a megaphone, you knew that drawling voice. Up on a raised platform nearby was someone wearing a wide-brimmed straw hat, swinging a cane lazily back and forth. Behind them was the festival's dunk tank, a sturdy cylindrical pool with an open-top mesh cage around it. Inside, an empty seat on a hinged arm waited for its next occupant. No takers? Shame. Oh, hey Marie, and Cameron, too. Don't think I don't see you down there. Is that? It certainly is. Come on, get over here. Don't forget, I literally know where you live. They leaned down from their raised seat, gesturing with a sweep of their cane for you to approach. What gleam they lacked in their eye, the she/her pin on her collar certainly made up for it. Hey, Macy. Friend of yours? She's my RA. Righto. How's my favorite kid? Having fun, Marie? What are you doing out here? Counting the seconds, filling in for someone else. Deja roped you into this. Dropped this cane in my hands and here we are. Who are these guys? Percy, nice to meet you. He, him. Emilio, also he, him. Jamie, the same as the other two. Nice. Say, would any of yous be interested in a game? A dunking game? You got it. I'd rather not be yelling for you to step right up all day, and you kids look like you'll boost the energy for me, if you get my drift. I think we get it, but... come on. You don't want to send a friend into the drink? Marie, talk some sense to your friends, would you? I'll be up here. The voice, I'm just going back and forth, it's fine. She waved the megaphone languorously, and you turned to the others with a rueful look. Macy was even-keeled that she listened with barely a blink, then proceed as if no protest had been issued in the first place. You were almost guaranteed to be up on that stage in the next 5 minutes. So, what are we thinking? I'm thinking this is unnecessary. I think it's a classic festival thing. We might never get a chance to do it. I'm with Ilya on this. Could be fun if we play that quiz as a group. Sure. Put me in, coach. Okay, well, who's joining Marie for a swim? I'm not. Let's throw for it. Yeah, okay. Sorry, Jamie. Are you? No, if I beat you fair and square. Alright, put him up. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. 3 completely nonsensical gestures landed in open palms, and you and Cameron stood quietly aside as the other 3 descended into a whirlwind of philosophical discussion. Jackhammer beats boulder. Oh no, this isn't boulder, it's balloon. I just float out of the way. Nuclear fission beats both of you. I thought we made atom bomb an illegal move. I didn't say atom bomb. You might as well have. The argument flew completely over yours and Cam's head, in a flurry, requiring another 2 rounds of play to resolve. Somehow, when the dust had settled, Elio ended up in the hot seat, though he looked much too happy about it to really consider his fate a loss. So it's me and Elio. Climbing into the seat was the easiest part. You settled your hands on the nylon straps that held it steady, while Macy popped the door shut and climbed back into her own chair. How's the water, Murray? Under me? Not for long. Okay, and we're officially off. Pardon me, while I put on my festival voice. Our challengers outside the tank will have 4 chances to send their friends here into the water. Whichever side answers my questions faster will tip the scales in their favor. Get it? If our defender inside the tank answers fast enough, they stay high and dry. If the challengers answers faster, you're going down. Easy as that. Make sense? Can you repeat that? You'll learn as you go. Let's start. Okay, we got flashcards. Question 1. My voice hurts. Oh my gosh. I'm putting a $100 sweater on sale for 35% off. Say we have a promotion. What's the new price tag say? Oh, it'd be $65 minus another 10%. So that's like 65 minus 6.50, which is, oh my gosh, is that 58.5 or 59.5? 58.5, maybe. I don't have a pen. Okay, Percy's got this. He's minoring. I'll allow it. It's this. Stalemate next. I mean, I had a little bit of time. Name 1 member of your student government. Deja. I don't know what the thing. We're gonna put Reina. Boo! Softball question. It's the spring festival.
Deja's been talking about it for months. I have it memorized.
What's the campus? I don't fucking know. Let the birds out. Oh, it's the 3rd one. Oh, did I win? Congrats on surviving. Though I think everyone watching is kind of disappointed. Do with that knowledge what you will. I had to put my charger on real quick. Okay. Icarus. Sorry, my voice hurts, so we're gonna play this. I might have to end after this, but oh my god. I just guessed. Oh, Ilya got in the water. But Ilya's happy. Okay, that was a little bit of the festival. I have to go now. It's been about an hour. Hopefully you're enjoying the spring festival as much as I am. And I'll hopefully be able to get back to enjoying it later on. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of Keyframes on my channel, as well as other indie visual novels that I like to play. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.